everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of the podcast known as The Life I'm Lovin'. I am your host, Vincent. Here with me today and every day is the co-hostess with the co-mostess, Scarlett. Yes, very feisty. Love the energy. So today's episode is, of course, the big 1-0. Episode 10. Always great to have a number like this. A milestone, if you will. Small milestone, but a milestone nonetheless. Acknowledge where you've been. Acknowledge how far you've come. 2.5 months into this, Scarlett and I are still consistently putting out these episodes. So thank you guys very much for listening. I appreciate all the feedback you guys have been giving me. It's very much appreciated. Scarlett also appreciates it as well. Today's episode is going to detail a day in my life that I consider, as of today, the worst day of my life. I think this day deserves an episode for a multitude of reasons. And why I'm choosing this week to do this episode is because the 13th of March is actually the first anniversary of the worst day of my life. So I thought this was something that I would share with you guys, give you pretty much the beginning and end of that day, and just where my mind was at, where it was going, and fast forwarding to now, how that day has affected me in the past 365 days or so. So this episode is going to be an emotional one. Aren't they all, Scarlett? Yes, but it's a good type of emotion. It's not positive or negative. It's everything wrapped into one. And isn't that what life is all about? Mixing the good with the bad memories with the good memories, the good vibes with the bad vibes, to make those good vibes feel that much greater. Also minimize those bad vibes. Understand that good vibes are coming our way eventually. Just gotta take things day by day. And so I just want to get the episode started just so we can get into the nitty-gritty and, go from start to finish throughout the day, let you know where I've been, where I want to go, how things have been affecting me in the past year, and how I've been able to live. So we begin the story the night before, actually. So March 12th, 2023, 9:49 p.m., I get a message from my dad. Hi, mijo, which means my son in Spanish. I hope you had a good weekend. Rock on emoji, pinky and index finger up with the thumb to the side. Rock on. So he added that emoji in there, finishes it off with an I love you. I responded saying I did have a great weekend and that I love you too. Now the next day, I always text my dad, usually on Mondays or days where I'm a little stressed out, only because he loved to work. He missed work so much after he fell ill. So he always gave positive advice. So usually on Mondays I would text him, and in this case, Monday, March 13th, 2023, I texted him in the morning, another work week begins. His response was, yes it does, enjoy it. He proceeded to send me pictures of the shoes that he was wearing for the day, which are the shoes that I had gotten for him for his birthday, February 4th. And he captions the photos, wearing my shoes. Love them, thank you. So I acknowledged that. I said, glad you liked them. I liked the photos. And I asked him, what is on the agenda for the day? He said, take care of some bank paperwork, then dialysis. Fun day. He ended that message with the smiling emoji with the eyes open, where it's like you're smiling through the pain almost, like don't really want to do this, but I'm going to do it because I have to. Type of emoji. You guys know what I'm talking about. And so he mentioned dialysis, and he had been doing dialysis a couple times a week for almost a year. And for those of you who don't know what dialysis is, it's a type of treatment that helps your body remove extra fluid and waste products from your blood when the kidneys are not able to. And so for those of you that are unaware of the current situation with my father, I will rewind this story back 2 days because he actually went over the gist of what was going on with him at the time with me, which I really appreciated. So we rewind back 2 days. He had gone to a class on kidney transplant pros, cons, and etc. because he wanted to hear why it wasn't an option for him. And so I simply asked why it wasn't an option for him, and this was his response. Because I need a heart too, and now possibly a liver too. And all that would have to be done at the same time. And I don't think my body is strong enough to handle all that. Also, doctors are not willing to do all that at once. He responded again pretty quickly. Mijo, my son, are you okay with me telling you all this? I don't want you to worry or stress out over it. It is what it is, nothing we can do. I will stay as healthy as possible for as long as I can. So I told him, I like to hear this stuff. I like when things are transparent. I appreciate you telling me these things. And I proceed to ask if there's other options. His response was, no other options at this time. So I asked him how he felt about that. Just to pick his brain, get inside his thoughts, and just see where he's at. He said, well, I have accepted the fact that I'm really sick, and am trying to stay as positive as possible and prepared for what is coming. Then, like an idiot, I proceeded to ask him if he's keeping busy, doing crossword puzzles, anything to take his mind off of things. After I said those things, and after everything had happened, I just feel like an idiot in that moment. I feel like I was just maybe in denial, or simply not listening or seeing the big picture. You know, he's telling me kidney issues, liver issues, heart issues, no options, no surgery can be done, no transplant can be done. And I'm over here asking if he's keeping busy, keeping his mind off of things. I feel like such an idiot. I feel like that was a huge moment of foreshadowing that I was too stupid to see, or I just didn't want to acknowledge. Maybe I was in denial. Maybe I didn't want to believe what was going to be happening. I mean, it was 6 months away from my wedding. Obviously, he's going to make it. So that conversation was 2 days prior. We fast forward back to the 13th. After he told me about his day, I responded, sounds like a fun day. Sarcastic. I got my sarcasm from my father, so he understands that me saying sounds like a fun day when he's going to the bank and doing dialysis is sarcasm. So I wasn't saying it like, oh, I hope you have a great day today. I'm, father and son sarcastic chatter. So I said, sounds like a fun day. And during this time, during March, is free agency for the NFL. And as you guys have heard in episodes past, my dad is a huge Raiders fan. And so Jimmy Garoppolo, who was Tom Brady for the Patriots, their second string quarterback for a time, went over to San Francisco, played on the 49ers for a few years, and Jimmy Garoppolo, aka Jimmy G, for those who don't want to say Garoppolo, had joined the Raiders. And so at 10:59 a.m. on the 13th of March 2023, I texted him, Jimmy G on Raiders. Him at 11 a.m., 1 minute later. What? At that point, I might have gotten into my work because I didn't respond for 2 hours. I said, yep, hopefully he can do something. No response. Now, in those 2 hours, I could have responded at 11:01, probably. I feel like I might have seen his message and saw that it was the long what that he always uses, and maybe I didn't feel the need to respond for a couple hours. After I'd responded, it was around 1, my mom called. She usually doesn't call. She usually texts me unless, it's a little bit serious. And so she calls me, and I didn't record the call, so I'm going off of memory from here on out. Minimal text messages at this point. So I talked to my mom. She's like, hey, we were waiting at the office for your dad's dialysis, and something happened. He's not feeling too well. It's okay. Back in my mind, it's lingering. She acknowledges that it might have been a small heart attack. Keep going about your day. Don't worry about it. I'll call you when I get an update. Finished the day. I even went to the gym. I walked over to 24 and I was working out, and the whole time I was on the bike, my mind was preparing for the worst. Heart attack. My mom calls. My dad's not responding. My mind went straight to the worst possible thing. And so I imagined what it would be like to get that phone call. I imagined what my life would be like afterwards. And I think I was at the gym for a good 45 minutes. But besides the bike, I really had no idea what I was doing. My mind wasn't there. My mind wasn't at the gym. My dad had just turned 57. 57. Old, not too old. Today can't be the day. I remember saying this to myself, and for those of you who are in this situation, I apologize, but at the time, I remember myself in the bathroom of the gym, looking at the mirror, just thinking to myself, I'm not one of those people. I'm not one of those people that only have one parent alive. I can't be. It's not going to be me. That's not how my life goes. Denial. Preparation. I don't know. I don't know what it was that my mind was doing. I got home from the gym maybe around 6:30 p.m. Jen had gotten home from work by then. I get home. I think within 5 to 10 minutes after I get home, I get another call from my mom. She said, "Your father had a heart attack while we were at dialysis. He couldn't have had a heart attack in a better place because he was already around so many doctors and so many people who can immediately care for him. So they had him in a bed. They were working on it. And after the first heart attack, he had another one. And after the second heart attack, he had another one. He was fighting. He was fighting so hard. And after the third heart attack, he had another one. And his fight was over. He was gone. My fears that I pondered that entire day came to be true. I remember I was standing in the kitchen over the sink when I heard this news, and I broke down. And Jen immediately hugged me. And I was still talking to my mom, and I don't really remember what I was saying or what she was saying. But I asked her if I could see him, if I should see him. My mom said, "As a mother, I don't think you should. I don't want to put you in that position." And at this point, I had gone to my room and I put my back against the wall and I slid down to the floor and was sitting there crying. As I'm crying, I can see straight ahead on my nightstand a photo of my grandpa and myself when I was maybe 1-2 years old. I've had that picture since he passed away in 2003. I looked at him, and I saw him after he passed in his bed at my grandma's house. So seeing him at that point made me feel like it was meant to be. So I told her, I need to go see him. I need to see him. There was no second thought after I saw my grandpa's picture. So she sent me the address for the hospital, and Jen and I started driving. During the drive, I felt the need to call a few of my friends. I don't know if I called them for me, I don't know if I called them for them, but they knew him. I think I just wanted to get some of the emotion off of me. Because for me, it helps to talk things out. It helps to hear positive reinforcement coming back to you. And so on the way to the hospital, I was calling my friends and I was telling them, and we were crying together. And we eventually got to the hospital, and I greeted my mom and we hugged for a really long time, and she said, "He's in there." And I walked in, and Jen and my mom were with me for a little bit, and they gave me some time alone. And I talked to him. I did what I know how to do. I held his hand, I touched his forehead. I looked at him, I tried to remember as much as I could. Tried to feel his hand as much as I could, knowing that that was going to be the last time I had seen or felt him in person. I talked to him for maybe a good 10 minutes, just expressing myself, letting him know what I was going to do moving forward, letting him know that I was going to use him as much as I could to strengthen me when I probably had minimal to no strength. He was going to be my boost until I was back to feeling like myself again. I told him I loved him. I told him I'll see him again. And then I went back out, and me, my mom, and Jen were in the waiting room. We went back to my mom's house. I met up with my brother, and we just talked, ate food, just shared each other's company, tried to stay positive, realized that our immediate family had shrunk that day. Jen and I drove home. We got home around 2 a.m. that night. And I don't know why I did this. Maybe I couldn't go to bed without it. As Jen was sleeping, I was looking at my text messages, just trying to fathom what had happened the past 12 hours. And so I started typing. "Good night, Dad. I love you so much." Heart emoji. Send. 2:32 a.m. March 14th, 2023. I think a part of me was hoping for a reply. A part of me was hoping I wouldn't get a reply. I don't know where you go after you die, but I hope it's beautiful. And I hope he could see that message. The days that followed were hard. The support of my friends and family were out of this world. Definitely could not have gotten through those days, weeks, months without each and every one of you. I took 3 days off of work, and I clocked in on Friday. I don't remember how that day went, but I didn't take any days off afterward. Actually, that following work quarter, I placed second on my team for the most funded units for the quarter. Something I had never done before and haven't done since. I remember when I was in the office and I got that notification from my manager. I went back to my desk and I sat there and I couldn't work. I just wanted to tell him. And I went to my car after the shift and I sat there and I was just in such disbelief. 2023 was such an emotional year. The fortunate part is that amongst that huge life-changing moment that I had experienced that day was so many positive moments that had followed or had happened prior to that day. Eric and Devin's wedding, going to Hawaii, watching the Eagles in the Super Bowl, Ed and Sarah's creating of a child, Ari, who was born approximately 10 days after my dad had passed, Kai and Alex's wedding, being Kai's best man and planning his bachelor party, him being my best man and planning my bachelor party, my wedding, arguably the best day of my life, moving into a bigger home where I have an office and Scarlett has a backyard. We have space. In the grand scheme of everything, as much as that day destroyed me, I want to believe that he chose that year for a reason. No other year in my life has been so positive that if he passed away in any other year, I don't know if I would have been able to move forward the same way. Maybe he chose it for a reason. Maybe fate chose it for a reason. I don't know. But it's times like that that really make you question what's meant to be and what's not meant to be. Would texting him 2 hours earlier, responding to his what regarding Jimmy Garoppolo being signed with the Raiders, maybe his heart would have felt differently and he wouldn't have had his first heart attack because I was saying something and he was too busy thinking about what I was saying than waiting for his dialysis. I don't know. A couple days after he passed, I was talking to my Nina and my Nino, and I told them how it just felt like the world was a little more quiet. There was one less voice that I got to hear, one less text that I got to read in their voice. Losing a parent doesn't matter what age you are, can be the worst moment of your life. It's a life moment that stays with you forever. And in my head, I had two options. I can allow it to consume me, allow the sky to keep falling, allow my life to be forever worse. Or I can do the opposite. I can feel like it happened for a reason, as all things do. I can use him knowing that his energy is now with me, and I can use that to make me stronger in every way. I hate to say it, but I might have waited longer to do the podcast if he hadn't passed. I genuinely think that he gave me strength, because the whole time that I wanted to do the podcast, I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think I had the right equipment. I was afraid of how people would react to me. I was afraid of putting my people in the public eye. After he passed, it almost became, well, what's the worst that could happen? Knock on wood. But that's real to me. There's not many things that can happen to me that will feel worse than March 13th, 2023. Now, everyone's human. Everyone's going to move on at some point. And it might feel equal to March 13th, 2023, but it's gonna be hard for it to feel worse. Maybe something will feel worse. But more often than not, it won't be as bad. So with his strength, with my family and my friends lifting me up each and every day, I don't think I've really lost a step. I think if anything, I've gotten stronger. To me, I didn't have two choices. Because if I were to collapse, if I were to let myself go to a dark place, I feel like it would be a domino effect, where once I collapse, the people around me will get worse. You know, I have Jen, I have Scarlett. They need me. My mom needs me. My brother needs me. My friends need me. My family needs me. They need me to be me. So I never felt like I had a choice. I never felt that this could make me worse. That wasn't an option for me. Because I had so much to live for. I have so much to live for. And he wouldn't want that. He wouldn't want me to collapse. He would want me to do the things that I love, be with the people I love. He wouldn't want me to use his passing for negativity. So, March 13th, 2024, I took the day off. I didn't even give myself a chance to try and work through remembering the worst day of my life. I used the anniversary of his passing to take the day off, reflect, feel, without feeling like I have to work, without feeling like there's something else I need to put my attention on. I just wanted to relax and acknowledge every feeling that came into my body and allow it to come and go. So Jen took the day off as well, and I'm so blessed to have her in my life. We woke up and we took Scarlett to the dog beach. We picked up some sandwiches that Kai and Alex had recommended. They were delicious. And we sat on the beach, watched the waves, watched Scarlett run. We laughed. We played my dad's favorite music. Zapp and Roger, Cypress Hill, Dr. Dre. Played it all the way home. Got home, gave Scarlett a bath. We watched The Expendables. I watched The Expendables. Jen was on her phone. Scarlett was sleeping. My dad loved action movies, car chases, explosions. He was a man's man. And I found myself reacting to certain scenes of the movie, knowing that he would react the same way. And it hurt. But I let it come and I let it go. I was drinking throughout the day, I'll be honest. I don't think I overdid it though. The perfect amount of numbness to allow myself to feel but not get overly belligerent. After pouring a drink, I went and sat back down on the couch and I looked at Jen. I started crying and I said, I hate that I'm celebrating the worst day of my life. And she said, that's not what you're celebrating him. My dad worked a lot. He didn't take a lot of days off. And so because of him, every year, on his anniversary and possibly even his birthday, I'm going to take those days off. I'm going to spend them with my family. And I'm going to feel every emotion that comes and goes out of my body for him. Because he was not very emotionally in tune with himself. So to honor him, I'm going to use the positive traits that he gave me, the positive knowledge that he gave me, and then I'm going to work on the things that he maybe needed to work on himself, by also acknowledging that we're all human, that we're not perfect. I love you so much, Dad. I talk to you all the time, whether you can hear me or not. Sometimes I'll do something stupid and I'll think about you and I'll just talk. I'll be like, wow, you saw that, didn't you? Because that's my way. And if you guys get anything out of this episode, know that it's hard. Know that losing a parent is one of the worst things that could happen to anybody. But acknowledging that, asking for help, letting your friends and family into your lives, feeling every single emotion that comes into your body, allow it to come and go and use it as strength. I don't know if that'll work for everybody, but it's been working for me the past 365 days or so, so I'm going to keep it going. Thank you guys for listening. this was more of a me episode, so Scarlett was just kind of listening as well. I want you guys to have some good drinks, eat some good food, be around good company, and continue to love the life you're living. Take care.